Hello there, people who have access to the internet who are currently using it to watch this video. My name is PunFood, or just Pun if you prefer. And, this may be episode 5, or it may be episode 6. If you're seeing this at episode 5, then, obviously I chose to just extend the length of the episode to accommodate for, whatever we find in the basement, for the sake of, like, pacing of episode 6. Or if you're seeing this at the start of episode 6, then obviously you're seeing this because, I felt like I didn't have the time to include this at the end of episode 5. Or episode 6 turned out to be, too long in its own right. You know. So, who knows? Anyway, my only job here is to, enter the basement. So, let's go. I have prepared somewhat extensively for this. My only regret is that I didn't know that you couldn't buy the mannequin once you returned with Ralsei and Susie. This is my inventory that I'm going into this with. This is Chris's equipment, or Moss Finder. Honestly, I've been having a few debates over in my head whether to continue on to Chapter 3 with this save file, or to restart my Chapter 2 save. Specifically because I want to make sure I get the mannequin and a couple other things that I'm kind of regretting the choices I made. Part of me says I should just run with this save file because A, it means I don't have to play through the chapter again, and B, you know, what if I make a mistake in Chapter 3 and miss something? It's not like I'll have that information before I record Chapter 4, you know, so like, does it really matter, you know, if I make mistakes? Maybe I should just live with them. But for now, the thing that we came to do here is insert the loaded disc. You put the disc into the broken down mechanism. Nothing happened. You tapped the mechanism. Nothing happened. You shook the mechanism. You hit it. You kicked it. Nothing happened. So yeah. I don't know. Obviously, at the start of Chapter 3, I'll tell you what my decision was in regards to if I played through Chapter 2 again, to change who I gave the plush to get the mannequin, to not find the moss and instead keep my bed inspector title. You know, those are the things that I wish I kind of could take back about this playthrough. Or if I just run with this file unchanged, you know, I'll also tell you that too when we get to Chapter 3, but that's a decision for future me. For the sake of Chapter 2's recording, we're continuing with this save file. Anyway, we did our job, let's get out of here. Or not. Holy Congadero, do I feel good! Here I am, Chris! Big! Big! Bigger and better than ever. Haha! This power is freedom. I won't have to be just a puppet anymore. Or so I thought. What are these strings? Why am I not big enough? It's still dark. So dark. Chris! 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 That's right, you! I need you! To be big with me! Very, very big! So big we'll stand up to all and look past the dark! Stand up with our heads in the clouds and look into heaven! I just need that little soul you have! Alright. This isn't looking good. Chris. The hell was that, weirdo? Chris, we were worried about you, so... Chris! You have friends? Why don't you tell them about my 3-for-1 special? Today, the whole family can take a little ride around town. Attention customers, clean up on aisle 3. Someone left their souls lying around. Oh no. It's not good, but we're filled with justice. Alright. Was that a big shot just now? Wow, I'm so proud of you. I could killed you. Heaven, are you watching? It's time to make a very special deal. All right. It's time to be a big shot. Spam to Neo. Let's check. Let's defend. Spam to Neo. You won't find higher attack and defense anywhere else. The smooth taste of Neo. Wake up and taste the pain. Chris, isn't this body just heavenly? 3 times the fire power, 2 times the water power, and best of all, flying heads. All right. I've been practicing my Mario Party button mashing skills. I'm still not the best, but it should suffice. Hold and release A to fire a big shot. Let's start by snapping all. Everyone snap wires. We'll turn those schmoes and Daves into Rosen Graves. Those cathode screens into cathode screams. All right. If you're ever hearing any or seeing Mettaton references, those aren't accidental. In fact, Spamton Neo's body is designed to look like Mettaton's Neo form. I don't know. Do I explain this now or later? Make some ring until your heart. It's breaking up. Please answer the phone. I can't explain till you're all alone. It pulls the strings and makes them ring. Chris, don't you want to be part of my beautiful heart? Or did you need a little special tour? All right. So, the basic idea for this fight is that he's kind of using a lot of Mettaton's attacks. But basically, it takes you a long time. You want to be able to snap all basically on every turn you can. All you gotta do is big. Then we'll be the ones making the calls. Chris? What? What? Are you serious? It's for you. Pippus. Anyway. So, this attack can actually be pretty deadly if you don't properly time your big shots. Spamton turns to the audience and laughs. This fight goes very fast and he has a lot of dialogue. It's calling, Chris, my heart, my hands. Alright. This attack isn't too bad. I've seen a lot of people struggle with this fight recently. I will admit this fight is probably harder to master than Jevil. I think Jevil is fairly easy to actually master and just dodge his attacks. Spamton Neo is a lot harder with his chaotic attacks. Anyway, let's talk about the mannequin that I failed to buy. Ralsei needs a heal. We'll snap with you. We will snap with you, and then we'll heal with you, because I need to use up some items. I don't really need a CD bagel. Okay. You almost always want to use Snap All, specifically because it does 7% as opposed to the 2% each does individually. You basically gain a bonus 1%. Also, there's the Freedom motif and the Power of Neo. Chris, can you really look in my eyes and say no? Look in my eyes. Look in my nose. Look in my mouth. What else? Your head, shoulders, knees, and toes? Knees and toes? Anyway. Okay, we took out the mouth. Spamton begs to the audience, Spamton prays to the audience. So on the subject of the mannequin I was unable to buy, if you have the mannequin equipped, it decreases the damage taken from cat and puppet elemental attacks, which Spamton is clearly a puppet, so duh. The other thing is, the frayed bow tie, which I didn't bother to equip because it doesn't do that much defensively, also decreases, I believe, the damage taken from cat and puppet based attacks. Which is interesting, but I decided to just go in with my standard equipment and not specialize for this, considering I already lost my ability to take in the mannequin. Anyway, we're gonna snap all. I can't stand it! I think I'm gonna have a heart attack! Alright, here comes this heart attack. It's not all that hard. I don't think it ends unless you actually manage to break the heart, though. It's a lot faster and harder to hit the heart in this attack, but there is no audience. Yeah, we're only 45%, so we can snap all. If Ralsei gets hit one more time, so I have something else I want to do. Chris, I'll even give you a free value. Die now, and I'll throw in 50 bullets for free. All right. Fun bit of trivia. I believe Spamton attacks you with exactly 50 shots in this attack after he says that line. Smells like rotten glass. Considering the shadow crystals look like glass in the light world, I wonder if that's supposed to imply something about the shadow crystals. Anyway, we'll snap all. Chris, if you give me that soul, I will give you everything I have. I will give you 3 easy payments of $9.99. Alright. So, we gotta deal with the nose and the eyes. Okay. You do move a bit slower. Pulls the strings and makes them ring. We'll snap, we will snap, and then... we'll get the Lancer cookie back, so we'll use that. That'll put us at 76, which isn't bad. Okay. Friends? Chris, what are you talking about? You don't need friends. I can make my hands with the phones. Sure you can, buddy. Okay. Just gotta avoid it, basically. Okay. Well... now seems like a good chance to... What other items do I have? I have butt juice. I have so much TP that it'd be a waste to not heal prayer. Considering Ralsei can do 65 with one. Don't you want to help out your old pal Spamton? Chris, think! What are my eggs gonna do? Alright, here's the Peepus. Ooh, triple. Oh, I tried for another triple. There we go. Oh, that was a quad! Oh, that was not that bad, actually. The air crackles with freedom. I really need you to target Ralsei, Spamton. We have so much TP that I may as well just do another heal prayer on Chris, because that'll get us, like, back to full, basically. Yeah. Chris, take the deal! Take it! Do you want to be a heart on a chain your whole life? I mean, he's not wrong. That references the fact that, Chris's very soul is what's controlling them. Anyway, or is it really Chris's soul, I guess, is the question that should be debated. The stage lights are shattered. We'll snap all. Or, did you want to be? Did you want to be? What? It's for me! This is similar to Jevel's attack when he says you tired you up. Spamton feels the sweet breeze as he takes a ride around town, in that something terrible is coming. Chris, I won't force you. I can't force you. But look, Chris, look at the power of Neo, and ask yourself, well, don't you? Don't you want to be a big shot? Alright. Just like Jevel, he has an attack that basically warps the entire arena. It's better to spam, I think, there. Pause, spew. Okay. There we go. Smells like rotten glass. Well... Oh, this will do it. So I'll show this off now, because it's my last chance. If you press F1 on your keyboard, or press in on the right joystick on a controller, Spamton gives you help. So, he was actually being sincere when he said press F1 for help. Wait! Boop! The presses! My wires. They're almost gone? Chris, you're gifting me my freedom. Chris, after everything I did to you, after all the unforgettable deals, free chromer, I gave you, you're finally repaying my generosity. Chris, I understand now. The greatest deal of all. Friendship. Chris, my days as a long-nosed doll are over. Cut that wire and make me a real boy. Are you watching Heaven? It's time for Spampton's Comeback Special. And this time I live for myself. No, myself and my friends. Here I go. Watch me fly, Mama! I mean, what happens if you were to remove the strings from a puppet? It's a grim fate. It seems, after all, I couldn't be anything more than a simple puppet. But you three, you're strong. With a power like that, maybe you three can break your own strings. Let me become your strength. You got Shadow Crystal. You got Dealmaker. If you defeat Spampton with violence instead of mercy, you will instead get Puppet Scarf, which is a weapon for Ralsei that gets rid of, like, all his magic, basically, and turns him purely into an attacking role. I don't know if I recommend it, considering Ralsei is your only real healing source. I guess you could use items, though. But in regard to Dealmaker, I could equip it on Ralsei like I did Javel's Tail on Susie. It does give him way more magic and defense and money. And the magic is kind of wasted on Chris. It gives you 5 magic. But at the same time, it gives you more money. And that's kind of an effect I always want to have on Chris, regardless of whether or not Ralsei is in the party. So I think I'm going to put it on Chris instead of Silver Card. The magic is kind of wasted, but like, it's whatever. Anyway, just a little bit more to go, and then I can talk about some lore stuff with this. The main reason that I didn't want to include this at the start of episode 6, I mean, you'll obviously know where I put it, but the main reason I kind of didn't want to do that is because Spampton Neo kind of deserves his own thumbnail spot, but there's also a thing in that's going to happen later in episode 6 that I also feel like deserves its own thumbnail spot. So I guess I'll see whether or not where this goes, but that's sort of my logic and reasoning, just to give some context. But anyway, the more I'm getting into this recording, the more I'm feeling like this is going to be episode 6, because I know I can breeze through the rest of the Spampton content and then get through the stuff I had planned for episode 6 really easily. It's a shame, because there's something coming up later this episode that would be cool to have in the thumbnail, but it just maybe wasn't meant to be. Hey, so, are we seriously not gonna talk about any of that? That was goddamn weird. Puppets, strings, hands? What the hell does any of that mean? And the way he just broke. I don't think it meant anything, Susie. It seems like it was just a corrupted program. He turned into our ally, so let's just accept it. Chris, you've got goosebumps. You okay? If you have goosebumps, then no. Chris, are you okay? You're yelling. There, everything's alright. Don't think about what happened too hard, okay? Just take some deep breaths and think about something you like, something nice, something soft. I'll be right next to you until you feel better, Chris. Guess Ralsei's right, Chris. Whatever just happened, I guess maybe it didn't mean anything. I don't know why you came here, but let's just be glad you didn't get killed. Just tell us next time. We're gonna do something stupid like this, okay? Okay. So, we have a bit more Spampton stuff to cover in regards to... Let's start with the trash zone. I knew that I wouldn't be able to get the mannequin after fighting Spampton, specifically because the Addisons now show up here. But I didn't realize that I wasn't able to get it after leaving with the city with Noelle. But let's see what they have to say. He was like the rest of us, just a little unlucky. For some reason, his products never seemed to hit, and the lighteners never even looked his way. Poor guy. Night after night, when we all went to the same cyber grill, he'd shoot his mouth about making it big someday. You just watch. Someday, I'm gonna be a big shot. He started to get a little desperate. I heard he started looking for any way to become more popular. Somehow, he made the right phone call and found someone. Or was he found by someone? They must have been helping him, because suddenly, he was on the phone all the time. Suddenly, he got really good at his job. The clicks started piling up. What? What did he do? Why did he deserve this? We were all so jealous of him. We stopped going out with him. I mean, wasn't he a big shot? He didn't need us anymore, did he? Even so, he only got more and more successful. He moved into a luxurious room in the Queen's mansion. He started bragging about big TV deals, big cars, big commercials. But then things started to crack. It seems like whatever was helping him disappeared. His sales dropped to 0. And so he lost? His HP drops to 0? Interesting. And everything came crashing down. It's very interesting, the phrasing, his sales dropped to 0, similar to Jevel's, your HP drops to 0. The day he was to be evicted from the Queen's mansion, I went to his room to check on him, but he wasn't there. There was only a phone hanging off the handle. He must have left it in the middle of a conversation, because I could still hear someone on the other end. But when I put the receiver to my ear, there was nothing but garbage noise. You tried to call on the cell phone. It's nothing but garbage noise. So yeah, though this does raise some questions about the nature of Darkners. Spamton is based off spam email. And so the real question that I have is, how did he become discarded? Because obviously that would have had to happen before the Dark World was set up. The Knight couldn't have done it, and if we believe that Gaster is the one who set up these secret bosses, how? Like, I still have to question, how did Gaster set up Spamton back in the, 2000s, when this game supposedly takes place at least in, like, well, actually, I guess it could be in the... But the 1997 has to be way in the past, because it's a laptop, and the laptop, would have to be at least in the 2010s. We know this game has to take place at least in the 2010s. So, I would argue it even takes, I guess, 2018-ish probably is maybe 2013-ish. Hard to say, but the main idea is, that's not too important. So the main idea is... Oh, you show up here now, too. This puzzle, I think I got it on the download. I just need to data mine the answers from the console. Answers in the code. Child's toy to play beep version of nursery music. I guess I'll read more dialogue first. Spamton, this used to be his room. Though it's not like he used it after a while. Eventually, he just spent all his time in the basement, praying. Praying in the basement, huh? Haha, Chris, whose room is this? Oh, your brother? Haha, man, you better hope I never meet him. Okay, so this is Spamton's room, and I think it's also Jockington's room or Caddy's room. Did you enjoy your room? Mint under your electric cage. Susie has nothing to say about it. So yeah, Spamton did used to live in the mansion. I don't know, I kind of have to address my final thoughts with Spamton here. Otherwise, things could be messy. So... yeah, I don't think I have an answer to the whole how did Spamton get set up. Like, when did Spamton it all fall apart? And, like, you know, how did it fall apart? You know, supposedly Gaster was helping him, but I find that hard to believe, you know, that he was doing that back in 1997 and then, like, stopped, you know, right? It's hard to say. It might be one of those things that we have to theorize forever and wasn't intended to really have an answer. In regard to Spamton falling apart, if Chris 2 is also a puppet like Spamton that's being controlled by us, that implies something about the nature of Chris. And that is, they can't survive without us. That's what the Spamton fight implies, at least. The idea that even though we cut Spamton free of his controlling strings, they were the only thing keeping him strung up. It also implies something about the nature of Darkners and the game. Even if it is players or Lightners that control the Darkners, they only survive and exist because of the Lightners using them, you know? The Dark Fountains are kind of the exception to that. You know, they can live and act on their own in Dark Fountains, but otherwise they only move when Lightners tell them to, essentially. Anyway, let's check in the cafe. I have one thing more thing to talk about that kind of ties into that, and that's to do with the basement robot. So that's what happened. That robot was the embodiment of a Lightner's dream. A dream I helped create once. Splashing color from the motion of their hand, the Lightner filled it with their own hope, giving it an incredible power. But in the end, nothing ever came of it, and it was left in the basement with the rest of the corrupted data. But that crooked salesman, somehow he learned about the robot, and thought he could use its power to fulfill his own twisted dreams. What a pity to think he was once a valued customer. So yes, it is implied that that robot was created by Metaton, or in his ghost form. Similar to how in Undertale, Metaton creates, tells Alphys what he wants his body to look like. So, you know, that's the implication. So what does it really shape up to in the long term, so to speak? I believe Spamton was trying to live in and exist in the light world. That is what I believe. I believe that he thought that by becoming one with the robot, he could ascend to heaven or perhaps the light world. Because he keeps saying it's dark, it's so dark. You know, implying he's in the dark world. And the main thing that I have to support this is the idea that he's trying to upload his data into a robot. A way for the computers and technologies, the ones and zeros, to have a physical form and interact with the physical world. So my belief is that he was trying to become a physical entity in the light world. However, because the robot isn't a real robot, it's still just data, you know, he ends up, you know, still being a puppet. He's closer to being a real entity in the light world, but he is still nothing but a Darkner. You know, he's still controlled by the strings of, you know, the Lightners manipulating him. I also strongly believe this because, you know, if you think about it, like, the robot could be made, but it's not actually a physical form in the light world yet. Though, if you incorporate, you know, but he's closer to being a Lightner than ever, simply because, you know, he has that robot physical form almost going from him, you know, and it was, you know, filled with a Lightner's power more than some other Darkners, you know. But, like, why would he need to upload his data to the robot, you know, if not to try and become a physical light world being? That's just sort of my last wrapping up thought on Spamton. Everything else, I'll just have to see how it unfolds in Chapter 3. That's all I wanted to say. As for now, we can now proceed forward. And it's locked. What's with this giant empty room anyway? Welcome to my extravagant dining bonanza. Only one of these delicious platters has the key. I'm sure searching will be an addicting game of chance. How the hell are we gonna search all these? Okay, well, what if it's this one? Or maybe this one? Or maybe this one? Error! Results! Key not found! Did you mean give up? All the platters got mixed up again? Okay. Error! Results! Key not found! Did you mean give up? Hey, Chris, isn't there something else we can do? I mean, there is. We can go down here. Hey, there's something under this one. Alright. Don't try to run away, you little... Hey, wait a sec! And now we have the power of Dog Platter to search for the key. I believe it is exactly the 53rd one or something along those lines. I don't remember how many. It's like you have to defeat a certain amount of platters to find the key. There's the key. Now we just have to... It broke it? Okay. I didn't mean to take all those guys out, but... I kept drifting back and forth. Anyway. Haha, was that awesome or what? Maybe minus the blatant destruction. Let's go, Chris. We're almost at the 3rd floor. Alright. The Supreme Table. You won't be able to use this without the Throne of the Gods. It's a shame we don't have that. Anyway. Let's try and avoid these things. And head in here. For, Ow. Ow. I'm doing really bad at actually dodging these. Anyway, inside was Glow Shard. This is, I believe, the 2nd Glow Shard of both chapters. Okay. Barely made it past, and I think if you just run through here, you're able to make it. Okay. What's my inventory like? We now have a Glow Shard. Next time I reach a save point, I'll have to put that away. Anyway. So, we have, I had theorized, because in Undertale, we see green, orange, and cyan attacks. Cyan, you have to stay still, orange, you have to move through, and green heals you. So I had theorized that, what if purple, blue, and yellow attacks exist? I theorized, before Chapter 2 came out, that blue attacks would bounce along the ground, similar to how the blue soul mode makes you play a platformer. You know, yellow makes you do shoot 'em ups, blue is platformer, green is rhythm, and purple is runner. You know, in case you didn't know that all the soul modes were inspired by different genres of games. Anyway, but so I had thought that like blue attacks would bounce long before Chapter 2 came out. And then the other thing I thought of is purple attacks would ignore invincibility, considering how Karma is kind of a purple color in Undertale. And I had theorized that yellow attacks would home in on you. We'll have to see if that actually happens, but, you know, it was just a thought I had, so it was fun to see the blue bouncing balls here and be like, oh, I was correct, you know, right? Anyway. The night created the fountain and this world. It might be even more powerful than Queen. For now. The Queen has been very interested in this video recently, where the knight creates the fountain by its own hand. Well, it's that in Cyber City's Funniest Home Videos. This is today's dinner entertainment. I've heard it's called The Birth of a Fountain. What an elegant name. We are often forced to star in those videos. How elegantly quixotic. It's a video of someone creating a strange pillar of smoke. There's so much smoke, it's hard to tell who it is. Okay, people are often saying, Toby doesn't want us to know who the knight is, and Toby does want us to know who the knight is, and it's not going to be some mystery as to who the knight is, you know. And part of me is saying, well, then why does he obscure the knight's identity throughout all of Chapter 1 and 2? I do think there is a possibility that the knight should be obvious by now, but I also think there's a lot of possibility that, like, it's meant to be a mystery, or at least, you know, up for debate, you know, for the foreseeable future. Hard to say, but cite that video as evidence of it being hard to see who it is, you know. Although some have argued that it's just so our heroes don't know, but, you know, we the player get to know. I don't know. I don't care. I'm done talking about the knight. We're talking with Birdly. Chris, Susan, glad to see you arrive unwounded. Now, let us hasten. Through here is a secret passageway to the roof. There, we can rescue fine Lady Noelle. Okay. Let's go, Chris. Oh, Chris, you and your lackey distract Queen. Let's go, Susie, the two of us, haha. Fine, whatever. Chris, do you think of me as your lackey? Of course. Really? I'm happy to hear that. I've never been someone's lackey before. I mean, if Rouse is a Darkner, his whole purpose is to be my lackey, basically. Is there anything else I want in my inventory? I have a club sandwich. I don't really need the spin cake, though it wouldn't hurt to use, considering I can always get another one. So I'll just put the glow shard there for now. Everything else looks good. Okay. Wait, what did this say? Susie has gone into a book hole with Birdly. You are filled with the power of book holes. Do I have everything recruited? I think I do, basically. Okay. I'm also going to make a save. And we're going to go this way. The statue of Birdly is wedged in the toilet. You glance back at the bathroom door sign. The sign is a silhouette of a Birdly statue. Everything checks out. Fair enough. When are they going to be done in there? Probably never. Sorry. A giant lake of acid. Oh, you mean the free pool? You will learn to love it like family. Why do you have this? It is my mansion's energy source and fun to drink. Bye-bye, haha. No, it's just bye, ha ha ha. Whatever, reading's hard. How should we pass this? I mean, maybe start by pressing the switch that is right here. I suppose this works, haha. Alright. Let's go, the acid tunnel of love. Now we have to think of some way to distract Queen. Oh wow, I'm so distracted right now. Okay, I was not able to turn that house blue. It's not blue now. What are these little houses? Just tropical villas for my guests. Isn't that thoughtful? How would anybody fit inside? Shrink from the acid. Chris, get the banana. Chris isn't gonna do what you say. That's okay, Chris. It's good for you. Alright. Looks like we're coming up on a tunnel. Alright. It's tunnel time. I love tunnels. Tunnels are always like the most exciting part. At least when you're young. Like, tunnels are always so exciting to go through. Huh? There's something blocking the way. Maybe we can find some way to get rid of this? We probably can. Alright. Let's go. Minor puzzle solving time. So, what we need to do is quite simple. We come over this way, and before going up there, we're going to go this way. Alright. There's the queen part of the Birdly statue, at least. Alright. Thank you for your help. I had gone up there to do a little house cleaning and got stuck. Alright. I wonder how that... because that house doesn't activate that bridge. Anyway. Oh. Okay, run for it! Run for it! Run for it! Run for it! I suppose we'll just have to let it go this once. That's a fun section. It's nothing but dialogue, you know, but it's, like, rewarding dialogue. It doesn't necessarily help you solve a mystery, but, like, it's just a fun little section of dialogue. Though I will say the Acid Tunnel of Love is probably my least favorite section of the chapter, mostly because they don't really do anything with it, in my opinion. Anyway. This is an easy fight with Ralsei here to pacify basically instantly. Okay. And it seems that peace is returned to the castle. You open the treasure chest. Inside was revived dust. So, I always forget this item's in the game. It revives all fallen party members to 25% HP. That's really not that good. Simply because, the revivement revives one party member to, if you had 4 party members total, I could see how Revive Dust would be helpful, but it seems like we're only ever going to have 3 at a time, in which case you would need 1 person alive to use it, and then at that point you may as, 25% HP isn't that much. Mice will turn at every intersection. It's basically one of these, ladder game things, so if we release the mice found $1. You didn't get anything. Okay. If you go here, I believe they go $20. You didn't get any. If we do this, I think they go to the bottom house, and then if we do this, they should go to that top house. There we go. Sounds like the bridge was raised. Hit the switch. Looks like the hand is out of the way now. Pulling the lever back would undo the high five. You can't undo a high five. True. Anyway, so I think Revive Dust is basically worthless. If it was 50% each, I think that would be better because there's only 2 party members, so it's the equivalent of, instead of using a Revivement to get one to 100%, use a Revive Dust to get both of them to 50. But unless they add a 4th party member slot, I don't think Revive Dust is all that useful. I'm going to keep it because it might be relevant later, but I don't plan to really ever use it. Let's go, Chris. Anyway, I don't like the Acid Tunnel of Love because it's not very exploratory. You spend a lot of it in this boat, and that one little exploration section you get is just kind of It's to do with some houses. It's okay, but I feel like the house, they're basically on and off switches from Mario, and they could have been used more or better. So I just sort of feel like, why not turn the whole mansion into being over a pool of acid? Anyway, Chris, hey Chris, is it strange to say, it's nice spending time alone with you like this? It's strange. Sarcastic. I was just being sarcastic. Sorry about that. When we first met, I was so nervous about first impressions. I even hid my face so you wouldn't see. How do I even be a friend? All I have to do is be nice, is what I thought. But I'm starting to realize being friends is more than that, isn't it? Susie, sometimes she isn't nice at all. She's selfish, she's rude, she's sarcastic. But isn't it wonderful that she's her? Is what I started thinking today. And of course, Chris, it's nice that you're you. It's just like you to be quiet right now. It's just like Ralsei to try and turn, the player not, complimenting him into a positive, trying to turn the negatives into a positive for the sake of placating the player. And when the player doesn't play along with his shenanigans, he feels the need to steer it and try and be back on track. That's right, isn't it? It's so you-like. I guess I like you-like things, huh? They're not saying Chris-like. I just wonder what being Ralsei-like even is. I don't think Ralsei is evil. I just think that he has his priorities maybe in the wrong spot, Sorry, I got off track. Let's just enjoy the ride, Chris. Or perhaps the player is maybe the cause of some horrible thing. If the player isn't satisfied, it could lead to bad stuff. And perhaps that's why he's always trying to appease the player. Anyway, what Wow, Chris, look at all those houses. I wonder what'll happen if we change their color. Yeah, thou'st worms really thoughtst. Thou'st had seeneth the lasteth of me. Ships ahoyeth, landlubbers! Art thou readieth to visiteth David Jones' locker? Could you not speak with more than one accent? Yes, alright. Oh, Mr. Rules, I just remembered, Lancer, he's not well. Oh dear, did thou, tryeth burping him? Perhaps give him a sip of medieval ginger ale? Wait, I hath not time to spare on such frivolities. I must conquer this island and defeatst thou. Then, giftingeth her a succulent island present, the beauteous queen shall reward me by makingeth me her left-hand man. Haha, me, the ultimate minion. Now beholdeth the form of thou destroyer. Whatever this thing is. This again? Haha, squirming with jealousy at my battle caravan. 'Tis an effigy of an ancient god of combat. I rescuedeth it from the king's trash heap, and fixedeth it up in this world's scrap shop. That's just a duck. I forgot they had special dialogue for making the whole thing a duck. I knoweth what it art, ruffian. Go forth, my squeaky ducky. So if you make it a thrash machine and not just a duck, Ralseo said it's actually a rejected design we made, and Rules will say, and soon you will be the one who would take a taste of rejection firsthand. Interesting dialogue. The duck isn't actually too bad. I do kind of wish I maybe made an actual machine, but I think the duck is just funny. Anyway, we'll start by checking. Rules! Minibus for hire will appear even if unhired. I even if do parties. The rules, pronounced rules, are simple. Conquer houses, whoever has the most winced. Alright. He's starting with his box attack. I love that idea, mini-boss for hire. You need more industrial zones. I'm working on it, okay? So, I'm gonna see if I can get a draw. Soon victory will be mineth, and Queen will maketh me her left-hand man. I'm gonna try and go for a draw here. You need more residential zones. Okay, that leaves him no openings in. Finished. Okay. Mr. Card, what happens if we win? Uh-oh. Okay. Ow. I didn't realize it blew up. Okay. I have 9. If I go there, there, and there, that's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. We're going to distract. Stop! Stop building his houses! I have to win! Okay. Thank God you're giving me an attack I can build TP with. Okay, now I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So... oh no. I messed up. I messed up. I won't be able to get a draw. Can't build on acid. Swan is lacking structural support. What other unique dialogue is there? It seems to be in love with your swan. Thou'st moi? Oh my god. I can't negate build 4. I should have just build 2. Okay. thrashest off the port bow. Well, I tried to get the draw dialogue, but I failed. Okay. Fly, mein ducky, fly! It seems as the game hath been overed. What? House doth you have more houses? Houses! I should have just filled up my side and then defended for turns after turns. Anyway, cut the battle! No, that wouldn't have worked because if I have no way to build, I can't. It would still cut the battle. I tried to make it a draw, but whatever. Ha ha. So thou hast triumphed. Not that plump duck art, but not the appetizmente. Watch your growing and huge destruction, eh? Gah-ha-ha-ha. Behold, worms, the real power of rules card. Good. Damn it! That's right. Rules isn't compatible with this world either. Well, let's go, Chris. I really wanted to get the draw dialogue, but we got the win dialogue. Anyway, the ending's the same regardless. You just have to finish the game, so the quickest way is to just surround him, whether you win or lose, you know. Make it so somebody can't build. I guess you could also beat him up, because it wouldn't change the ending either. Looks like the ride's almost over, Chris. Oh, there's a camera. Should we, pose? Oh, this changes his, title, I believe. We're gonna go with the peace sign. Fuzzy Pickles! I bet it must have been a wonderful picture. What? We were facing the wrong way. If you're... Art thou just going to leaveth me here? Thou art even going to showeth me the picture? Unfortunately not. That was a nice boat ride, wasn't it, Chris? Looks like it's completed its migration. Well, we'll have to continue to not show rules the picture next time. But for now, my name has been and will be tomorrow, the day after that, and 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 it always will be Pun Food. Poor rules, likely not ending up in the thumbnail because I probably gave it all to Spamton. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm making all of this episode 6 because I don't want to have to make 9 episodes for the chapter instead of my planned 8, you know. Poor rules. Never get to win.